All right, let's talk about a director who was and still is a true force of nature in the world of film, the one and only Andrei Tarkovsky. And you'll often hear him called the poet of cinema, and for a very, very good reason. He really wasn't just making movies, he was crafting something else entirely.
And this quote right here, it absolutely nails it. See, Tarkovsky's films are, well, they're an experience. They're built to pull you in, to make you think, to make you feel something profound. You're not just watching a story unfold, you're going on a journey. So the big question is, how did he do it?
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll get to know the man himself. Then we're going to decode his unique visual language. After that, we'll take a trip through his 7 incredible films. I'll give you a starter pack so you know exactly where to begin. And finally, we'll touch on his massive, unforgettable legacy.
Okay, so first up, who was this guy who basically turned film into pure poetry? Well, Andrei Tarkovsky was a Russian filmmaker who just completely threw out the rulebook. He wasn't interested in your typical beginning, middle, and end. Nope, he was a true auteur, an artist with a vision so singular, so specific, that he was chasing something much, much deeper.
Instead of simple plots, his films dive headfirst into these massive, universal ideas. Things like time, memory, dreams, and spirituality. You could almost say his movies are like cinematic meditations, woven together from the fabric of memory and really big spiritual questions.
Now, to really get Tarkovsky, you kind of have to learn to speak his language. So let's open up what I like to call the Tarkovsky toolkit. These are the key ingredients that make his films feel so, well, so Tarkovsky.
And it's all about how these pieces work together. You've got these long, unbroken camera shots that make you feel the passage of time. He's constantly using natural elements, water, fire, wind, not just as scenery, but as symbols. He uses silence like an instrument. And by blurring the lines between what's real and what's a dream, and by using very little dialogue, he forces you to connect with the film on a purely emotional, visual level.
Let's zero in on his most famous tool, the long take. Forget quick cuts. Tarkovsky would just let the camera roll, sometimes for minutes on end. And the point of this? It was to immerse you completely, to make time feel real and tangible, and to let you, the viewer, literally breathe with the rhythm of the film. It's incredibly powerful.
All right, now that we've got the toolkit, let's see how he actually used it. It's time to take a quick walk through his filmography, all 7 of his feature films, and trust me, every single one is a masterpiece.
And here they are. His career spans from 1962 all the way to 1986. Think about that for a second. Just 7 feature films. But the shockwave they sent through the world of cinema? Absolutely immeasurable.
He kicked things off with Ivan's Childhood, and what a debut. It's a war film, sure, but it's unlike any you've ever seen. It's not about the battles, it's about the fractured, dream-filled inner world of a little boy. The visuals are just breathtaking.
Then came his sweeping epic, Andrei Rublev. This is so much more than a historical movie. It's this massive philosophical meditation on what it means to be an artist and the struggle between faith and suffering in a really brutal world.
With Solaris, Tarkovsky decided to tackle sci-fi, but of course, he did it his way. Forget aliens and laser beams. He used a space station as a pressure cooker to explore the human soul, our memories, our guilt, our consciousness itself. Then you have Mirror, which might be his most personal film. It doesn't really have a plot in the traditional sense. It's more like a collage, a stream of consciousness that beautifully pieces together memories and dreams, kind of like how our own minds work.
Next up, a film many consider his absolute peak, Stalker. It's this slow, almost hypnotic journey into a place called the Zone, where your deepest wish can supposedly come true. But the real journey is a spiritual one, a test of faith, cynicism, and hope.
And finally, we have his last 2 films, Nostalgia and The Sacrifice. He made these while in exile from his home country, and you can feel it. They are haunting, intense, and deeply melancholic works that serve as a powerful conclusion to all his biggest themes: sacrifice, spiritual crisis, and the search for faith.
Okay, so after all that, you might be thinking, this sounds incredible, but where on earth do I start? I get it, his work can feel a little intimidating, but don't you worry, we've got a roadmap for you.
Where you start really matters. I'd say begin with Ivan's Childhood. It's his most accessible film, a perfect entry point. From there, move on to Solaris. It's got those deep themes, but the sci-fi story gives you something clear to hold on to.
Once you're in the groove, you're ready for the deep dive of Stoker, and then you can finish with the profound vision of his final 2 films.
So, after all these years, why are we still talking about Andrei Tarkovsky? Why does he still matter so much? What is his lasting legacy?
Well, it's because he was, as we said, one of cinema's true originals, a true auteur. His uncompromising vision proved that film could be so much more than just entertainment. It could be a legitimate, profound art form, one that could explore the deepest, most complex parts of the human spirit.
And that really leaves us with one last question to chew on. In our world today, with this super fast media, endless scrolling, and quick cuts, what can we possibly learn from his cinema of stillness? Maybe, just maybe, his films offer us something we're all desperate for, a chance to slow down, to think, to reflect, and to just be.